Anthony, I really gotta say it's out of my budget.
What do you mean? It's out of your budget. This is the best package for you. This is what's going to work to get you to lose that 20 pounds, Jimmy. You were so excited the whole time. What happened?
Yeah, it's just the price, man. I don't know if I can swing it.
And there goes the sale. What do you say? What the hell am I supposed to do now? Holy shit, this lead came in. They were so excited. They were so amped up about the program. You really thought you had them. They were excited. You're like, oh, I got this person. Another sale, another new client I'm going to be able to help. And then they hit you with that. Ooh, I don't know if I can swing that. Oh, man, that's a car note. That's a car payment every month. I don't know. My expenses are high right now. I don't know if I could afford this. What the hell do you say? What do? You had them on the hook. You had the fish. You're reeling it up. You could see it popping out of the water. What do you do next? The answer is there's a lot of different things that you could do, actually. There's not one tactic in particular that's going to work. We got to be honest with you guys, right? We're going to explain what we do, but there's a lot of things that you can do. And there's a lot of things you should have done earlier to prevent all this stuff.
100%. The objections are one in the discovery. And I'll say this till I'm blue in the face, but a majority of the time when you are hit with objections toward the end of a meeting, it's because of the fact that you didn't do a good enough job building value in the discovery component of the meeting. And when we define building value in the discovery component of the meeting, it has to do with creating the divide between where they are and where they want to be, and how you can help them get there and how you've helped other people like them get there. That's really the key to a sales appointment. Is they are here, they're at X, you're going to take them to Y through your specific process, and your specific process works because it's worked for other people like them. And you have to uncover truly the reasoning as to why they want to do it, and get them committed to the fact that they need to make a change to make that happen, and they haven't been doing it on their own. So you're going to get people here and there that legitimately do not have the cash, but that's far and few between. A majority of the time, they're not willing to part with that amount of money for what you are offering, because they're not in enough pain, because you didn't dig into their pain enough to get them to make a buying decision. So the number one thing is the discovery component. It's not the pre-planned objection closes that you practice all the time. Because if you don't do a good enough job discovery-wise, any objection close that you have loaded may or may not work at that moment.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. There's really nothing else to say on that note. But so that you're going to get price objections in two ways. You're going to get them on the phone, and you're going to get them in person. So we're going to skip the phone part of this. Could be a whole nother training for that. What someone says to you, if you're talking to them on the phone, trying to get them to come in and they're like, it's expensive. Again, totally different training. So let's get a little tactical here. So what do you do if you're in this meeting? Let's say you did everything right. You built enough value. You spoke to them. You got them excited about the program. You did everything right, and they can't afford it. What do you do? Well, the first thing you do is you have to look back at how you present the prices. We recommend having 3 different pricing options, a good, better, best option. And then when you slide the sales sheet over to them, what we do, and again, this is different for every gym, but what we do at my facility is, hey, I think the second option works best for you. What do you think? You ready to get started? And we wait. And we wait until they say something, right? We don't say anything. We just sit back and wait. It could be 10 minutes. We just wait. Then if they hem and haw and they're like, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. First step is you have to isolate the membership. Now, we picked the second option for them. We said, hey, I think the second option is going to work best for you, right? Remember, we have 3 options. So we have to isolate the membership. Okay, Jimmy, and you have to acknowledge that you understand. So I totally understand, Jimmy. It is very expensive. But let me tell you, which membership are you looking at? We're isolating the membership. Okay, you're looking at option 1, option 2, option 3. And there's a reason why we're doing that, because if he's just saying, oh, I don't know, it's expensive. What is he saying it's expensive to? Our highest price option or our lowest price option? And we all know, even though we're showing 3 different prices, we're all pretty flexible in kind of making a package that works for somebody, right? Like realistically, if somebody wants to come, whatever, and you want to finagle something for them, you probably can, right? So we have to first isolate the membership. Which option are you looking at, Jimmy? Which option is expensive for you? So now, let's say if we show Jimmy the second option, like we went to, and he's like, well, the second one, okay, perfect. Well, why don't we get you started on twice a week instead of 3 times a week? And then when you're ready, you can upgrade to 3 times a week. It's a little bit cheaper and it'll still get you to your goals. Does that sound good? So now we're able to drop down the price, still show them the value of them getting to their goal. And then from there, they could say yes or they could say no. And then you go through the whole thing again. But the first step is you have to isolate that membership.
Yeah. And we have some ways in which we can get them across the buying line as well. And these are just tactical things that we're going over. This isn't specific language right now. So Anthony says, you can downsell, right? That's what he's doing. He's downselling them into something that is cheaper, but still can get them to their result. Another thing that you can do is you can mention a guarantee at that point. So we get them to the point where like, I don't know about the price, this and that. You have to isolate that it's price, though.
Well, wait, don't go any further than that. Don't go any further than that. Don't give away the pie yet, Jimmy.
What's that?
Don't give away the pie yet. Just stay on the isolating the membership part.
Okay. So you have to make sure you isolate the membership. Or isolate the objection. So they could be hemming and hawing about price, but is it they're hemming and hawing about price because they have a membership down the street at another facility that you then now need to convince them that you can handle all of their needs in your facility alone? So they can get rid of that membership. Do they have some other objection that they may not be able to attend as frequently as they thought? So their schedule is actually the problem, and it's not the price, because they're comparing it and they're saying that it's price, but in reality, it's that they're trying to figure out how to work it into their schedule. Then it's a scheduling conversation. So we want to really isolate that objection so we know what's going on with that. Because people say price, but price could mean a ton of different things. It could mean they're comparing it to something else down the street that's not the same as yours. It could mean that they don't know how they can manage their daycare and come to the gym because they didn't think about the fact that they could come in early in the morning and make it happen. Or they're actually worried about spending money, any money, on something that's not going to work for them because they spent money in the past on things that don't work or that they didn't have success with. So there's a lot of reasons why money objections come up, and it's not just because they don't think your price is right. And we have to be able to chameleon our way around really isolating what's going on and asking the right questions to get there.
Yeah, exactly. So the second step, what we would do in that case, if it is truly price and we've isolated the membership, so they say, okay, yeah, I'm looking at option 2. So another thing that you could do, and we're going to get into like where that guarantee stuff fits in and downgrading them and so on and so forth. But the first step is just, okay, isolate the membership. Okay, which option are you looking at? Mrs. Jones. Okay, option 2. Perfect. Okay. Now, Mrs. Jones, what are you comparing this price to? Because like Jimmy said, they have all these preconceived notions in their head about what it is, right? Oh, it's expensive because I can go to Planet Fitness for $50 for whatever Planet Fitness is anymore. I don't even know. But yeah, I can go to Planet Fitness and it's this. So they have these preconceived notions. So if you ask, what are you comparing it to? And they say, well, I go to the gym already. Boom. Now you could hit them with value. And you would say, well, Mrs. Jones, you have a membership to Planet Fitness. And yes, it's very, very cheap, but are you going? No, not really. Okay, well, with us, you're gonna have a scheduled appointment. You're gonna be able to come in. We'll make sure that you get your goals. We're gonna give you nutrition or whatever else you guys give, right? Then you would really build value here, build value here, build value. You keep building that value as to why you are not charging $10 a month and why you're 3, 4, $500 a month. We're gonna call you every month. We're gonna do sit downs. If you're not making progress, we're gonna help you get there. Blah, 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 whatever you're going to do, right, to get them to where they need to go. But this is where you're creating that divide from what they're comparing it to what you're actually going to do. If they give you a stupid answer like, oh, I'm comparing it to a car payment, is your car getting you in shape? Is your car giving you, insert their desire here? And again, this is why, like, the sale is not won with these objections. It's won in the beginning, because in the beginning, and we've done episodes on this, if you truly found their why, the thing that keeps them up at night, this is when you deploy that. Yeah, it is just as expensive as your car. But is driving your car going to put you in that skinny dress that you want to wear? No, yeah, your car takes you from point A to point B, but this is your life you're talking about. You deserve it. Like, you could create divides between what they tell you at this point, because they're obviously comparing the price to something. Oh, the other trainer down the street, it's cheaper there. Okay, well, I don't know anything about their program, but I can tell you here that, on average, our clients get X results. And if you look behind me, you'll see this testimonial of Mrs. Jones, who very similar to you, and blah, blah, blah. Again, I'm creating the divide between me and the other thing that they're comparing it to. So that's the second step in this process.
Yep. You have to get in their head with this. So you don't know what they're thinking about. You don't know what it is as to why it's expensive. You don't have any idea because you're not in their head. So you have to ask more probing questions when you have price objections. And you get to a point where they have price objections and you start talking to them and you find out that they're on food stamps and they came in because they want fitness. It's like, you're probably not going to sell that person, right? But if it's, oh, well, they're comparing it to a car payment, or they're comparing it to an Orange Theory, or they're comparing it to a trainer down the street, that's a conversation you can have, okay? Because they're not saying they don't have the money, they're just saying they don't want to spend it. So that's where the art of this comes in, as to discovering what it is that the price objection is really coming from.
Yeah, of course. Now, once we've isolated the membership, we've figured out what they're comparing that price to. The third step is we would then, at this point, explain to them our guarantee. We always recommend that you have a guarantee. Guarantees are really important because they drive home that you're going to get them results. It makes them trust that your program is going to work. That's why guarantee is so important. So here is where you would hit them with the guarantee. Well, and again, it just depends on your program. You can insert whatever here. Well, Mrs. Jones, look, it's a month-to-month commitment, and if you follow everything we give you and you don't get results in your first month, you get to train with us for free for the next month, or free until you get the results you want. I'm inserting my results here. I don't know what Jimmy's is off my head. I don't remember, but Jimmy, go ahead. What's yours? So what's your step 3 in this case? Now you're going to throw the guarantee thing out.
Yeah, so we run a money-back guarantee on all of our training if they attend all the sessions and they don't like it. So it's really, really simple. It's not, there's no, like, they don't have to achieve a certain result or not achieve a certain result. It's just like, if they don't like it and they attend all 12 sessions in the first 28 days, then we cut them a check for a refund. We've never asked anybody, nobody's ever asked us for a refund, right? We've had a couple of people that sign up and then there's like a 3-day cooling off period, whatever, and they'll just like, so we give them the refund on that, right, here and there. But for the most part, nobody has asked us for a refund on the training. And if they attend like 4 sessions, they're like, oh, I don't like it, then we don't refund them. So you have to make some sort of agreement with your guarantee. So it has to be something along the lines of them doing everything that that you ask of them attending a certain amount of sessions. They have to do something to be able to get that money back guarantee, because you can't give an unconditional money back guarantee, because then people will just sign up and then they won't show up and they'll be like, well, I just didn't show up, I don't want to pay for this. There has to be some condition. And the reason that condition works is because 99 times out of 100, if somebody attends your sessions more than 10 times in the first month, it's really 9 times is what the data tells us, right? They will like what they're doing because they're getting more of an endorphin